How you doing, Trench?
I'm back.
Now, how many times have you heard the name of Bart Erhman on the mouth of Muslims, especially Muslim apologists, who love to bring Bart Erhman to try to refute Christianity and say that according to Bart Erhman, Paul corrupted Christianity, the Apostle Paul, created Christianity. Now, they don't want to show you what Bart Erhman actually says about Paul and how Bart Erhman defends the Apostle Paul in one of his videos. Now, we're going to play a video for you and show you that Bart Erhman is actually defending the Apostle Paul, and by that, he refutes the lies and deception of Muslim apologists. Now, Muslim apologists only cherry pick what Bart Erhman says to prove their point, but what he actually says about Paul and Christianity, they don't want to mention on their tongues. Well, what do you expect from Muslim apologists in 2020? They love to cherry pick what suits their agenda. Now let us see what Bart Erhman actually has to say about the Apostle Paul. Did the Apostle Paul, according to Bart Erhman, did the Apostle Paul, according to Bart Erhman, did he create Christianity, or let alone corrupt Christianity? And is Bart Erhman going to refute the lies and deception of Muslim apologists? Watch.
If you had to line all the apostles up, I get the vibe that for you, Paul is the cornerstone of the whole story.
Well, the reason I think he is somewhat different from what a lot of people say. Some people say that Paul invented Christianity, and that can't be true because Paul was persecuting Christians before he became a Christian. And so if he invented Christianity, he would have had nobody to persecute. So that's not right. And it's not right that he invented the idea that Jesus' death and resurrection brought about salvation, because that's what Christians were saying before him. The thing that made Paul really key, as I argue in this book, is that he realized that followers of Jesus, this Jewish Messiah sent from the Jewish God to the Jewish people, followers of Jesus did not have to become Jewish. You could be a converted pagan and believe in Jesus and in the God of Jesus, but you didn't have to adopt the ways of Judaism. And this realization made it possible for Christianity to move away from being a sect within Judaism to being a worldwide religion. And if that hadn't happened, then Christianity would have ended up with the kind of historical significance of other Jewish sects. And they'd be as historically significant as the Sadducees or the Essenes, which are groups that are important for historians of ancient religion, but they're not exactly the sorts of things people worry about these days. And so he made it possible for Christianity to become what it did, which is the dominant religion of the empire. Paul and Constantine were the two most significant converts in the history of Christianity. And it's an easy case to make with both of them, actually, because without Paul, you wouldn't have had Christianity as a worldwide movement. And Constantine, he was the emperor. This is like the emperor converted.
How do you get from Paul is sending a letter to Corinth, some guidance and instruction, perhaps even correction, to this is a message that should be embraced by the entire world for all of posterity? That just, it blows your mind.
Well, yeah, probably would have blown his mind too. He certainly had a high view of himself and he had a high view of his authority, but the idea that people would look upon these occasional letters that he wrote as being, given by God, that's quite a shift. But it's because the early Christians who were deciding what is the right thing to believe and what are the right ways to behave, especially in the decades and centuries after Paul, they had to find some authorities to direct their actions and their beliefs. And they ended up saying Paul is the one who directs our actions. And so he takes on a kind of authority that he didn't have in his own day.
I mean, you just heard Bart Erhman. He said, Paul did not invent Christianity. And Bart Erhman defends the Christian view of the Apostle Paul. So Muslims, don't ever dare to mention the name of Bart Erhman on your tongues again. Shame on you. But wait, what about the Apostle Paul in Islam? Let us see. Is there something that we can find about Paul, i.e. Bulus, in Islam? Let's check it out. Now this is Tafsir al-Qurtubi for chapter 61, ayah 14 of the Quran. Again, Tafsir al-Qurtubi, chapter 61, ayah 14 of the Quran. وكان الذي بعثهم عيسى من الحواريين والأتباع بطرس وبولس إلى رومية. Now pay attention to Butros Wabulus. Let us see what the translation says. And they were sent by Jesus from among the disciples, i.e. the apostles of Jesus, and followers, Peter and Paul, to Rome. So Butros is Peter and Bulus is Paul. That's what we also call them as Arabic-speaking Christians from the Middle East. Butros, Peter, Wabulus, and Paul. Did you catch it? So Muslims, according to Tafsir al-Qurtubi, Paul is mentioned in your Quran in chapter 61, ayah 14. So Muslims, why are you such hypocrites attacking Paul and lying about Paul, saying that Paul is the one who corrupted or created Christianity? Shame on you. And why do you lie about people like Bart Erhman, who defended the Apostle Paul and refuted all of your so-called Muslim apologists? Muslims, think. But wait a second. Do Muslims actually think? Let us see. Let us see what a Muslim has to say about thinking in Islam.
Now that you read that verse to me, guess what happened?
What's happened?
My point of view all goes to the bin. Do you understand that?
It goes where?
The idea I had before of the verse is in the bin now.
Okay. And
as a Muslim, listen, we don't use our brain. If Allah contradicts our brain, we take our brain out of the sight. We take our brain out of the world. You understand?
That's wonderful.
We use Allah and Him.
So what do you use? If you don't use your brain, what do you use? What do you use? If you don't use your brain, if you just told me, we Muslims, we don't use our brain. Okay.
Yes.
So what do you use?
If it contradicts to Allah.
So now your brain contradicts the stupidity of Allah, so you decide to throw your brain in the bin.
Listen, for example, when I was younger, I would not agree with what is it called? A father marrying the stepdaughter of his stepson. I mean the wife of his stepson. You understand? But since the Quran allows it, that logic goes to the bin. You understand?
Okay.
So you see, Muslims are nothing but zombies, brain dead zombies. They have to always say, Sami'na wa ata'na. We heard and we obeyed. We heard and we obeyed.
Food. Not food. Food. Okay?
So take the brains from your skull, out of your skull, and throw them in the bin, in the garbage, where they belong.
It's just me, Patrick.
Because why would you need any brains in Islam? You are not allowed to think. Don't ask questions, says the Quran. Right? So you see, Muslims are nothing but brain dead zombies. They only hear and obey. Right, Muhammadans? You heard the Muslim, right?
The idea I had before of the verse is in the bin now.
Okay. And
as a Muslim, listen, we don't use our brain. If Allah contradicts our brain, we take our brain out of the sight. We take our brain out of the world. You understand?
That's wonderful.
At least he was honest.
It's just me, Patrick.
Oh. It was like, whoa, oh my God. I was like,
now don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe if you didn't already. And also share our videos on social media. Let this video go viral, people. Thanks for watching and God bless. Muslims, wake up.